Welcome to our show. You're listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections, a place to learn about and celebrate creative arts therapy. Each week, we'll explore new ways that music, art, and dance can reach, connect with, and help individuals of all stages of health and wellness. Hi, I'm Bree, Beynon, a board-certified music therapist and the managing partner for the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. Tune in as I interview professionals from healthcare and educational backgrounds on the impact of the creative arts. If you prefer to watch our live video stream, simply visit www.pbmti.com. Hello, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Beynon, board-certified music therapist and certified neurologic music therapist here locally in South Florida with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. If this is your first time joining our program, we're so glad you're here. Just to give you an idea of what you can expect, over the next hour, we spend this time every week talking to professionals or caregivers or community members who either have worked in the creative arts or have experienced the joy of the creative arts in their own lives. And we're doing something related today, as you can imagine. Instead of talking about art therapy necessarily, we're going to talk to an artist about her perspective on how art is therapeutic to her, and how, even though it's been kind of a hobby in and out of her life, how she's really choosing to devote time to it now, to not only for her own joy and to share it with her friends and family around her, but to use it as a way to give back to the community, which, if you have listened to this program before, you know that's something I'm really passionate about, is encouraging people to find ways to volunteer or give back to the community in some way. And I've really found throughout my life, having this opportunity through using your talents, through whether that's through music or art or whatever, finding a way to use that to give back to others is just such a win-win. You know, when we think about community service or supporting our choice of a religious organization or a charitable organization, it can get daunting. You know, we think about, well, maybe these people are reaching out to me because they're looking for money. I don't necessarily have the finances to give at this time. I don't really feel like I have the time to give at this time. But people are always looking for your talents as well. And I think it's a really kind of a fun challenge to think about, how can I use the talents I already have, I am already using in my everyday life, to help benefit an organization. So through our organization, through PBMTI, we'll do different things, providing music for different events, for fundraisers, things like that. And that's one of the ways that I got connected with our guest today, Melissa Rinaldi, who is an artist and also the founder of Go Coastal Studio, who has joined in on this effort as we've been supporting the Alzheimer's Association, you've heard me mention for several weeks now, to donate art as a way to raise money, raise awareness for our team, for the walk coming up in October. So I knew Melissa before that anyways, as she is the sister of my business partner and good friend, Catherine Nielsen, who's been on the show before. And but really, really love getting to follow her new journey through Go Coastal, seeing her create these new images, these new designs, and now not only seeing her painting and now being reproduced as a print work, but you're going to hear about all these amazing products she's delving into now, a lot of wearable things. She's got adorable models, which we'll see in a little bit, who happen to be her children, wearing different styles that she's created, clothing, hats, blankets, all sorts of really exciting things. And again, not only for her own benefit, for her own joy of having fun doing this, and she's a very, very busy person and has little ones at home, and as you'll see on camera in a little bit, almost 9 months pregnant. So she's a very busy person, but finds time to do this because of what it means to her, what the benefits that she gets out of it. So you're going to hear all about Melissa's story in a little bit. In our last segment today, hear about some of the products that she has through her studio, how you can get in touch with her. And she is going to do an on-air art demonstration. So if you're listening through the radio, this is really a great test for both of us to be describing to you what's going on in this. But if you are not driving and it's safe, please do check out our live video stream on pbmti.com/connections, at least for the last 15 minutes, because we're going to do a live art demonstration. She's going to be teaching me how to do it. And while I may be quite a musical person, I am certainly no artist. So the point here being, if she can teach me how to do this, you certainly can follow along at home and replicate this with for yourself for fun, with your kids, with your loved ones, with your girlfriends over a wine night. She's going to show how easy it is and fun to create art. So much like the benefits that I know personally for myself making music, not as a music therapist and the clinical benefits for my patients, but for myself, how much I know it's important to take the time to make music for myself, to do songwriting, to perform, to gig, whatever that looks like. It's similar for artists, and I'm sure for dancers as well. As much as we know the benefit for others, we understand that it's part of our own self-care too, is engaging in the arts. So I found this pretty neat blog called artblanco.com, and it talks about the top 10 benefits of painting. Now, since we're going to be doing some painting later today, I expect to reap the benefits of all of these top 10 things. So I'm just going to read through them pretty quickly for you today. Communication says art makes us more human. It helps us to communicate in a different personal language. This is a great benefit for all people, and mainly those who have conditions of lack of communication or problems expressing themselves, such as shyness, autism, or other disabilities. Pardon me. Therapy, as we know, we've talked to several art therapists on this show. Art can be used as a therapy as well as it can be therapeutic in use. It is also formally used as a therapeutic intervention. Painting is an individual activity, even in the workshop or classroom. A student enters his or own world, a world of possibilities. Stimulus of the creative mind allow the student to positively isolate from reality, which provides a mental rest that lowers stress and generates relaxation and happiness feelings. This is especially significant for people with aggression or nervousness conditions. Self-esteem, working in a non-competitive, relaxed environment, the teacher plays a major role here, will enable the student to come closer to greater personal achievements. This will strengthen his or her individuality and self-esteem. This is especially significant for people with codependency, traumatic conditions, and elderly people who need activities that can strengthen their autonomy. Again, it sounds like the blog is coming from a perspective of someone who is working with individuals, whether it's in a classroom or therapeutic setting, but these are all things that we can benefit from as well. I very much look forward to the amazing self-esteem I'm going to have from my painting later today. So, or not. I'm hoping it's going to be great. I mean, I trust Melissa. She said she led into this with, my 5-year-old just did this, so we'll see. Mobility. Learning to hold and handle a brush and or pencil will help regulate the hand movements and stimulate brain connections at the same time. The skill is being developed. In elderly people, painting helps them strengthen their fine motor skills. Concentration and healing. People who immerse themselves for several hours painting or creating something enter a purer area. Ooh, I like that. I'm sure we're going to talk to Melissa about what that might mean to her. Enter a pure area. In a very strong state of concentration, they abstract themselves from their surroundings, and time passes by without noticing it. I can definitely attest as a musician to being in that space. Physical pain fades away. It's almost like entering another dimension without leaving the body. This concentration state is called alpha. One part of the brain is conscious and the other pulls the unconscious out. There is more creation because a pure energy is transmitted to what's being created, and we can spend hours without feeling tiredness, pain, or other conditions like other activities. Very cool. Mental health. Painting helps us get distracted from our problems. It might take anguish out and transform into something nice, which is given a title. This helps us identify the feelings and increase our expression capabilities. This is especially significant for people with nervousness, mental conditions, people going through emotional imbalance like a breakup, or use a visual expression to achieve catharsis. Adults who learn to paint fight the fear to confront themselves, learn to persevere, and are encouraged to create something that belongs only to them, a personal project, unique and enormously satisfying. Brain activity. Drawing and painting stimulate both the left and right hemispheres, much like music. The first deals with the rational, logic elements, and the second one maximizes our creativity and emotions. Painting is helpful during the growth and development stages of children, as well as in adulthood, when it's very valuable to fight illnesses like Alzheimer's disease. Painting boosts imagination, the imagination of Alzheimer's patients whose memory starts to vanish is strengthened. We do partner with art therapists and working in memory care centers and dementia-specific groups, and I've gotten to see some of this work being done. It's inspired. It's really, really exciting to see some of the story work creation and this idea of labeling, putting a name to something and identifying this piece that they've created, whether it's scrapbooking or drawing or painting, whatever it is, as their own, and it's their own story. It's really, really special. Emotional intelligence. Emotions are part of the creative world we all have inside. Making those emotions flow through painting helps create harmony between the heart and the mind, which leads us to experiment happiness, love, empathy, and peace. Love it. Okay, we've got two more here. Art appreciation. Oh, three more, pardon me. Art appreciation. Practice, understand, and talk about art. Talking about art creates a better understanding of it. Individuals see themselves reflected and motivated by the work of others, which allows us to be the receptor of this type of communication, which dates back to the beginning of human history. Again, a lot of connections here between music and art, and really understanding why are these two things that have been part of our culture since the beginning of time still continue to be so important, not only to be taught, shared, experienced. Culture. The knowledge that a person can achieve when learning to paint enables him or her to understand human history through art. And finally, the most important, fun. Learning how to paint has all the benefits and good entertainment. We laugh, socialize, learn something new, feel motivated to finish what we start, appreciate nature, and feel passion for something good. These are a lot of amazing benefits that I can't wait to experience later. I saw Melissa nodding as we're going through the list, so we're going to talk about what a lot of this means to her as she's gone through her journey and rediscovering her passion for art and how she's sharing that with others today. So stick around just after this quick commercial break when we talking to my guest today, Melissa Rinaldi. Thanks.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Beynon. We start out the show, we're talking about the benefits of art today. Not specifically about art therapy as a clinical practice, but more about art, having art in our own lives and creating art and what that can do, how that can be beneficial and therapeutic to us. I'm going to learn firsthand about it in our last segment of the show today with our guest, Melissa Rinaldi. Is going to lead me through a painting demonstration. I promise you, I do not have an artistic, in that fashion, background. So if you are listening on the radio and it is safe for you to switch over to our video stream, please join us on pbmti.com/connections. Otherwise, you may be a little lost as we are painting, but we're going to try to be real descriptive. We know that many of you are enjoying this over the radio. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to my guest, Melissa Rinaldi, today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Sure. Hi, Bree.
Hello. And you have many, many talents. I'm always loving to learn about all the exciting things you're doing, even in the kind of short time we've gotten to know each other. But you've had a whole life before this new Go Coastal studio experience as well. So if you want to just start by giving us a little bit of your background.
Sure. I'm one of 5 children who grew up in Kentucky. My mom homeschooled us all until high school, And so I really do attribute now, later in life, my artistic ability to flourish and just discover what my talents and natural gifts were to that homeschool education. Sometimes in a more formal school format, which I'm just now getting used to because my oldest is in kindergarten, just starting. They do art 1 day a week, for example. And I really liked drawing and painting when I was little, so I was able to do it every day and go visit museums and just kind of explore that passion for myself. And I actually thought that I would be an artist as a career when I first went to college at Flagler College, a liberal arts college in St. Augustine, beautiful place. And I started out as an art major for a year, but then just got uninspired and switched to political science and decided to make a career elsewhere. But throughout those years and my young adult years, I did continue to paint for fun and did some commissioned murals. I went overseas for a study abroad in college. I painted a 53-foot mural for a restaurant in South Carolina while I was a lifeguard. Wow. Lots of random summer jobs, all related to art still, and kept a sketchbook during all that time. But recently, when I moved from Philadelphia, where my husband and I lived for a year, to Jupiter last April, I just started getting inspired again, and really by popular request of people I was meeting and just stuff I was seeing around in the stores, I was like, I should paint that, or I should do that. And it just took off from there. So this January, I actually created Go Coastal Studio and started selling artwork formally instead of just to friends and family. And it's been going really well. It's really fun.
Well, I know that I've certainly enjoyed patronaging your work. But it's a very bright, beachy, kind of, talked about lily-inspired style, which I love. Now, I know you said that was influenced by living here and kind of being by the water. What were some of the other things that would inspire you earlier in life when you would do the mural or when you were overseas?
Well, the mural was also coastal related because it was in a beachy town in South Carolina. And when I wanted to go to college, I wanted to pick a beach town. So I've always been inspired by the ocean and the beach. It's just what I like to look at and what I like to create. And so I would say that nature and coastal themed things is what inspires me.
Wonderful. And, you know, I was just sharing with you over the commercial break. I remember one of the first times that we had met and I'd gone over to your house. You said, well, yes, I've been working all day and just got home from Miami late. And then I sat down and just kind of put, you know, the paintbrush to the paper. And before I knew it was 3 a.m. And I thought, how does she have all this energy and is doing all this? This is amazing. And it came back to me as we're reading all those benefits and that idea of getting lost in space and it just kind of being a time eraser. So for when I was reading that blog, were there things that kind of stood out to you that, you know, you find personally are benefits to you when you're creating art?
Yeah, most recently, I mean, you mentioned it briefly before, I am very pregnant right now and due in 3 weeks. And I've been having a lot of back pain and I haven't been able to focus on like normal tasks that I would do without thinking of the back pain. And the only thing that's an exception to that is when I have an hour or two to paint. And just like reading a good book, it really just transports you somewhere else. If you enjoy it and like what you're creating, then you just continue to create and use that different part of the brain, and it takes your energy and focuses it elsewhere rather than on the pain.
Wonderful.
So.
Do you feel, does it have a relaxing effect? I mean, it distracts you from the pain. Do you feel relaxed doing it as well? Is it...
I do feel relaxed.
What I think is interesting about that is because it can give you energy by creating, but it also is almost like a sedative as well, just kind of being in that space.
It is, and it's always really neat to see, like, when you're reading and you stay up late and then you've read 200 pages or finished a book, you're like, wow, where did the time go? Or how did I do that? Just like when you start with a blank piece of paper, it's even more so because you created something. And then it's 2 hours later and you've finished and it's something that you love or something bright or just that makes you think about that moment that you're in, and it's great.
So now your house is decorated.
Yes.
With the pieces you've done. So what is that like to kind of sit down at the end of the day and look at what you've created?
I need a bigger garage. I have lots of stuff that I've done, especially over the past year. And luckily, my style does go well, like we talked about, with Palm Beach. So more and more, my year-end goal is to be in a couple more boutiques. I'm in a few now in Jupiter. And I like to move things to restaurants, like bigger things. And I'm constantly, as any artist does, developing and changing the style. So the things that are in my house last year are not in my house anymore. And of course, everything's always for sale. So
So and we're going to touch back on this later, but where are some of the studios or places where you do display your art?
Last year, I started doing local shows, and so I would take stuff with me. And then the two places that I'm in right now in Jupiter are Initial Styles on Indiantown, and then the Closet Boutique.
Okay.
And then there's also a chiropractor's office and a couple other random spots like that.
So in starting this formally in January, I mean, it's you, right? It's
Right.
it's you.
Yeah.
So, I try to always, because I recognize, especially people in the creative arts field, a lot of us, not everyone, but a lot of us are young women who don't get any business training, and kind of, if we have this passion we want to follow, or just young people in general, how do we, what's the first step? How do we market ourselves, promote ourselves? Social media, I know you use social media a lot. What has been the most helpful for you in getting your name out there, getting recognized as an artist?
Social media is definitely a big thing for me, and that is how I got the word out last year. And it really started organically, like just meeting people through groups on Facebook, or people asking me to do events and like the holiday shopping markets for schools, some smaller events. Then I would go there and meet other vendors, and they'd say, oh, you should do this event, or you should talk to this person. And I know it wouldn't happen that easily for everyone, but it's happened really easily and well for me. So my advice to young people trying it would be just keep creating and keep getting it out there and do a consistent style. Because as you know from looking at my Facebook and different things, everything kind of goes together, and now it's creating a bright Palm Beach story. So
Yeah, absolutely. It does tell a story. And we're going to, in the next half of the show, we're going to show more examples of what your art looks like. And again, if you are listening on the radio, we're going to try to describe this as best as possible. But if you can switch over, please do go visit our live video stream at pbmti.com/connections. We're not only going to be showing examples of the art, but also doing a demonstration later. In the meantime, if people are listening and trying to follow along, Go Coastal, you have a Facebook page there
I do.
they can check out. Okay.
It's facebook.com, then the /Go Coastal Studio, and I'm on Instagram at M. Rinaldi. And then I have a website that I'm getting all of my inventory up on.
Exciting.
I have like 114 prints from the past year.
Oh my gosh.
And
wow.
so people have been asking me, like, where can I see all your prints? So I'm finally getting a website up. And that is live right now. It's gocoastalstudio.com, the website. And I'm also going to be streaming videos through that, but that's in the works. But you can still go to gocoastalstudio.com and get the contact info.
Awesome. So you mentioned just being in nature. You've always kind of lived by the water. You've been inspired by that. What do you do if you're like, what am I going to do today? Do you ever have that moment of I just don't know, what colors to use or what to paint? I mean, where do you go to get inspired for that?
I haven't really had that moment yet.
Okay, all right. That's
As I said, I've been pretty lucky with people just really liking what I do, and as we'll talk about later, I do a wide variety of things as well, not just the coastal prints. I do portraits and pet portraits and some book illustrations. And right now, any free time I have that I'm not actually painting, I'm trying to figure out how to make my paintings into products and working on design, that type of stuff. So there's just an unending list in my iPhone right now of stuff that I need to do.
no shortage of ideas.
No.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, as they say.
Yeah, it is.
The book illustrations is really neat. How did that come about?
The first one I did was through my mom's like prayer group partner who had written a companion booklet for children to a popular Bible study that they were doing. And so she was looking around for somebody to illustrate it for her in a bright and fun style. And my mom was like, "Oh, Melissa should do it."
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother market.
Yeah, and when I had my daughter 5 years ago, I had always been reading books and like loving the illustrations and getting back into artistic things that way. And so wrote a couple ideas down for books of myself that I wanted to start illustrating as well. And so I had examples to offer people to illustrate children's books.
That's awesome. Very cool. A lot of synergy. You know, it sounds like it started with one idea and it just kind of grown from there as you picked up an audience, different ideas. So we're going to see examples of some of Melissa's work and also how she's using her passion for art to give back to the community. Also going to do a live demonstration you don't want to miss. So stick around. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer, Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Beynon, and we are talking about art and the benefits of creating art today. And we're talking to a local artist, Melissa Rinaldi. Again, thank you so much for being here, Melissa, who is the founder and the artist at Go Coastal Studio. So we were learning a little bit about her background and where life has inspired her along the way, as being inspired by coastal ideas, coastal prints, the beach. You couldn't be in a better place for that. Now, I'm not sure how inspired you were by that in Philadelphia, but here in Palm Beach.
Short detour.
Yes. Here in Palm Beach is a lot of inspiration to draw from. And not only because I just love, the bright colors and the prints, and it's so me. I mean, even when I was up in upstate New York where the sun never shined, I was always the one in bright orange and yellow. People never understood me. This is like where I was meant to be, down here in the sunshine. Absolutely. So very drawn to your art. But what I also love is how quickly you were one of the first people last year, as I was getting involved with the Alzheimer's Association and looking for fun ways to fundraise without asking people for money and having that kind of uncomfortable exchange that people don't love to do. You were the first person to say, hey, let me do some art for you. Let me do an event with you, which I love that, using those talents to give back, which I think is so important. And it puts even more meaning to the art that we put out there, I think. So we're going to talk about some of the different organizations that you are passionate about, that you've been involved with. But I want to start by just showing off some of these prints you've created, because we've been talking about your art for a half hour, and if you are watching the live video stream, you'll be able to see these now. If not, if it's safe to do so, please flip over to pbmti.com/connection so you can see these. If you're listening on the radio, we're going to try to describe them as best we can. But while I'm holding these up, why don't you let us know what the fundraiser is, what people can win, and how to win it.
Okay. This series of 4 prints, turn it vertical. Other way.
Okay.
Other way.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that makes more sense.
A series of 4 prints that I created with purple on the brain. That's the color of the Alzheimer's Awareness Foundation. And as Bree mentioned earlier in the show, I did join her walk team. And last year, donated a couple canvas paintings to events leading up to the walk to raise money. And this year, I decided to just do a special 4 themed purple prints in the sea life style that everyone's been loving. And a lot of people do like to hang my artwork as a set or as a conglomeration on the wall. And so that's why I did multiples instead of just one. And also I'm going to offer these throughout the year with a continual gift to the Alzheimer's Association.
Oh, awesome.
Right now it's going to be 100% of the proceeds. And then throughout the year after the walk, it'll be 50% always. And all of my prints are done locally as well at a shop up in Jupiter, and originals are still available of these. But how to enter is to go to our walk page and go to my Facebook page, and a $10 donation to the PBMTI walk will enter you into a drawing the day before the walk to win all 4, the first print series of the purple sea life prints.
Which I love. I'm sorry that I didn't know how it goes. I get it now. That's a lionfish.
Yes.
I don't know what I thought that was, but I get it now.
Yes, I was talking so much about how to find it. I didn't say what they actually were.
Oh,
but
yes. Let's do that one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've discovered that this, when in fact held the correct way, is a lionfish, right?
Yes.
Oh, good.
And all of these are 8 by 10 to get technical, printed on 11 by 14, so they're framed easily in a frame you can buy at the store. And this is a fish and seashell print, and they're all the same 3 colors with a little bit of bright purple, lavender, and blue. And this is the partial pineapple. And Bree had mentioned earlier that we are going to be doing a demonstration, and we are going to be doing a pineapple print together, so it'll be exciting. And then these are the purple palms.
I love that.
That one's my favorite.
Is it? Yeah,
I
like that
love
a lot.
it. Yeah. And all of this is available through my Facebook page, or if you want to enter the raffle to win it, then you donate to the walk. So you can purchase if you don't want to wait, or you can wait and donate through the walk.
So they go right to our team page, which is, you can search through, it's the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute team. Our team is Treble in Paradise. And you can find Melissa's name there, or donate to
and then a link to the auction.
A link to the auction from your page.
Right.
Beautiful. Okay,
Yep.
Awesome. We will mention that again. Is there a minimum donation? Did you say that?
Yes, the minimum donation is $10, but
Okay.
for every $10 you donate through the link, then you get 1 entry.
Oh,
so
awesome.
there's an unlimited amount of times you can enter.
And I was on the team page today, and people are doing it, right? I
Yeah.
saw some. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is cool. And you just started this, so
Yeah.
it's filling up. You want to get your name in there. And when is this going to be open until?
I'm going to leave it open until the day before the walk.
Okay.
So, and then as I said, the prints will be available if you just want to purchase them. 100% of the proceeds. The prints 8 by 10 are $40 each if you just want to purchase them on your own.
Okay, awesome.
And the proceeds will go to the walk. So
We're going to do it again, but just in case someone is just listening now, saw your beautiful art, and is excited, how do they reach you?
I have a website, gocoastalstudio.com, and it has my email address, reference to my Facebook and Instagram there. And soon it will have live video feed of when I do painting events or paint at home, and also a full store of everything that I'm making and offering right now.
Very cool. So you have kind of these designs that you're replicating in prints, but also available to do custom art, which I had commissioned you last year to paint my beautiful fur babies, which I love, love, love. Beautiful, bright pink, orange. I wish I should have brought that. Oh, I should have brought
Yeah.
that. Bring that another time. Red, pink, yellow, orange, beautiful, bright. I get to have my pets on my wall. It's just amazing. So you are available for that as well. One of a kind piece of art, which I love the story that you had Simba, my cat's picture up, and someone was like,
Yeah, they wanted to buy
but
it.
love it.
Yeah.
It made him feel very good.
Well, you asked earlier where inspiration comes from, and the best thing about social media, especially the active groups, small groups that you can be a part of in Facebook, is people always say, I would love that, but of this, or I would love to see that in pink, or I would love this. And So people just say things all the time that make you think. But the pet art has been a popular thing for me for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a pop art style on canvas.
I bet it's gotta be
really
fun, too.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun to capture the pet's personality, and it's interesting to see the end result because you wouldn't think that a red and yellow and blue cat would like actually look like your golden cat.
Yes, it does.
But I think it does.
It totally does. And I love when they are sitting in a way when they're making the exact same face as they are in the picture. I mean, does anyone else, because I know I send you these pictures a lot, like, look what they're doing. It's so funny. They're posing. Does anyone else ever send you pictures with their animal in it? And
I
so
had a
cute.
really good one through Instagram that I got of another, a golden retriever type dog. It was so cute. And it was sitting the exact same pose, wearing the same bandana. So, like, it was posing in front of the canvas.
That's
It was
so cute. Probably have a beautiful golden smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good subjects to paint.
They are.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
I bet. I'm hoping the pineapples are as good for me later.
They will
yet
be.
To be yet to be seen. Before we get to that, again, I want to thank you for all your support with joining me on the efforts for the Alzheimer's Association, getting involved with the team, and not only you but your whole family. And little Gabby thought it was a race and was like running the whole thing and wanted to beat everyone last year. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Not sure it was so fun for your husband who had to chase after her, but
No.
I thought it was great. But you are also involved in several other foundations or charity organizations that are meaningful to you, if you want to chat about some of those.
Yeah, as I said last year when I moved to Palm Beach, when people asked me to do events or to donate things, even for schools or for their own children's fundraisers, I just decided that I would do it if I had time. And so it started out just doing everything, like saying yes to everything, which is also a good tip for people trying to start in a different area that they're not usually in business in, because that way you get to meet people. And if you have a good product, that's also important, then people want to see it and they keep asking for more. But this year, the big exciting one I'm involved in is the Blue Water Babes. It's the fishing tournament up in Jupiter that's coming up at the end of the month, September. And unfortunately, it's the weekend of my due date, so I will not be attending. But I am a sponsor of the event and created some custom artwork for them to auction off at some of the parties leading up to the event. And then they're also using it on the T-shirt that they sell at the event.
Wow.
And I hand-signed 50 commemorative posters that they're going to be selling. So it's really exciting.
And what does that benefit, that event?
It benefits breast cancer research. And a sister event is the Teal and Tango event that's coming up at Bloomingdale's at the Gardens. And I think they have a Facebook page. It's a shopping and raising money for ovarian cancer research. I donated artwork for that as well.
Very cool. How did you get involved with these different organizations?
Through Facebook. People contacted me and said, I saw your art here. I really love it. It would go well with our theme. Looks like Palm Beach.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Again, the social media can do wonders if it's used.
It can.
Right? And is positive, just in a positive way, promoting things. I mean, I think there's a lot of value to it.
And I think in the article you read at the beginning, it did say artwork can improve communication. And every time I go to an event and bring examples of artwork or have stuff in a store while I'm there, it's just a talking piece and something to talk to people about. Or if people have seen it, it's a way for them to introduce themselves to me and get to know me, whereas we wouldn't normally know each other. So it's great.
You know what I love too is that for me, it's become a really cool way to, and not even being a part of the creating of art, but just buying the art from you, to express myself. In other words, you know, I got this piece for one of my best friends who had a baby, and she had shared with me beforehand, I'm really concerned about when I have the baby, my dog's feeling neglected. Because for the last 10 years, they've been my babies, you know, and she would get emotional about this. And so, you know, I talked to you about that and said, is there something we can put in her nursery that's celebrating the new baby, but also reminds her of her love, you know, for her dogs? We're still very much a part of her life. And I wish I had a picture of this too, but this sweet, sweet mother and baby pit bull that looked just like her dog in the colors of her nursery. which she gets to look at, every day as she's spending time with her baby, which I think is so cool. Another piece was, a really good friend of mine who I'd met down here was a lifer, Palm Beacher, and it's that beautiful painting of the state of Florida with different pieces. And it was just like, this is so much better than, spending $100 on what, a gift card or whatever. Not, every gift is nice, but to give a personalized piece of art that really, it was a conversation between you and I to create,
right?
And give with that intention it just makes it a little special, like very special.
Right. And then when your friends have people over, they talk about how special you are to them because you gave them original art.
It all goes around.
It does.
Absolutely.
No, but we can talk about it after the next break, but art as gifts is one of the big things that I do right now because people do have a hard time these days, like deciding what to give people because it seems like everybody buys what they want or already has everything.
Absolutely. You cannot buy these for yourself. You wouldn't. You wouldn't buy these for yourself, and they're so special to receive them. And speaking of that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back and talk about how you can buy art as a gift from Melissa or talk about that special gift. And then I'm going to create a gift. I haven't decided who's going to be the lucky one to get my really awesome pineapples I'm about to create. But you do not want to miss this demonstration because it's either going to be really awesome or a little bit scary. So stick around. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Thanks so much.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Beynon, with my guest tonight, Melissa Rinaldi of Go Coastal Studio. Again, thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
Given particularly that you might have a baby at any time, it's fine.
It's true.
It's so true.
Within the last month, you can.
And I didn't even really think about that until you said earlier this week, and I was like, oh, yeah. We have to be prepared for that, don't we? Good thing we're going to do a nice calming activity like painting to end our time together. No, it's been such a pleasure to talk with you and see some of your designs and hear about the work you're doing. Before we get into our demonstration that I'm very excited about, I want to give you one more chance for anyone listening or watching tonight, how to reach you, what services and products are offered by you, and yeah, how to just get in contact.
Okay, I do have a website, gocoastalstudio.com, and it references both my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm very active on social media. I get back to people the same day. So if you need to reach out to me, you can go through those channels. And also the auction we talked about earlier, benefiting the Alzheimer's Association, is linked through my Go Coastal Facebook page and also through our walk page, and that's the Treble in Paradise. And I offer a variety of products related to art. We talked about the pet portraits, fine art prints. I think I have about 120 different sea life prints right now, and also some other nursery themed prints. And then one of the other things I offer is illustration and custom work. And I also offer portraits, child portraits right now, or family portraits, watercolor, like fashion style.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love those.
Yeah, it's weirdly become one of the most popular things and one of the things I spend most time doing. So
very cool. Freddie, if you have some of the pictures of the products, we'll pull those up. If not, we'll just describe them. very carefully. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll describe them.
Okay. The sea life prints, it's just basically turtles, manatees, things that are inspired by the Palm Beach and Florida area. And I have created some products from those prints. I have surf hats and blankets now, and mugs and travel cups, just stuff like that. And it's all on my Facebook site. It will all be available on the website soon to view, but right now through Facebook or Instagram and email is the best way to reach me.
And all of this in like 8 months.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been busy.
Yeah, very busy.
This isn't even your primary job, which is amazing.
Yeah.
This is like for fun.
I did say earlier as well that I do say yes to most people who ask me to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do spend a lot of time like just doing stuff for charity, and it's really important for me again to reiterate that. So if anybody listening does ever have anything that they'd like an auction item for or something donated, I'm always willing to help out with that.
I love that. And the gift you are giving us tonight is this demonstration, which, good, you can, if you are watching, you can see my adventure here okay, so we're putting it.
Yeah, we're going to turn it. And as Bree mentioned at the beginning,
Yes.
She was a little nervous about painting. And I told her that my 5-year-old even did this project with me, painting some watercolor pineapples. So I brought Bree a paint set.
Okay. I'm going to put Gabby's up here for inspiration for me. All right.
And I have mine here.
So if you're listening and not watching, this is, what is this?
We have an 11 by 14 piece of watercolor paper. It's thick paper so that it doesn't go through. You don't want to use normal printer paper if you're trying to do watercolors because you want to be able to use a lot of water. And then we have a little set from Michael's.
I love the colors.
Yeah, it's really fun. And I didn't ever used to paint with watercolor. I just did acrylics. And in college when I did the murals and stuff like that, I still did acrylics and did a little bit of oil. But recently I've been getting back into the watercolors. I love it. I think they make the colors brighter now. I think it's fun.
Oh, so pretty.
And I also think it's easy to teach. One of the things I also do that I didn't mention is in-home like painting parties.
Oh, very cool.
Kind of like the paint and sip studios that you go to, but house party. So
now you could not have participated in the sipping part of this, but
not now.
Not right now. Maybe next month you'll come back on. We'll have that adventure. Yes.
Yes. So we are going to do 4 colors. So we'll choose your first color. You can do either all pinks, all purples, whatever you want to do.
Ooh, okay.
So choose.
I'm
your
loving
first
this bright
color.
pink.
Get a lot of water on your brush.
Okay, I think I don't have
Dip
enough
it in.
water.
Yeah, see mine's getting really murky there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then just draw an oval the best you can.
Oh, gosh.
It doesn't matter.
This is making me nervous.
It doesn't matter.
Anywhere?
Well, we're going to do 4. So try to think of your paper in a section of 4.
Okay.
So we're going to draw 4
I
ovals.
love this pink. It's
Yeah,
so bright.
see?
Yes.
Already it's making you happy.
It is making me very happy.
And we'll kind of follow my daughter's format and we'll choose a different color for each pineapple just to make it bright.
Yep, I feel very inspired by Gabby.
Yes. And so with watercolor, you don't actually need to dip your brush back in the paint every time.
Sorry.
That's okay. You can just dip it back in the water and then spread it around.
Oh.
And then you get that kind of look like actual organic look of the watercolor paint, which I really like.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, see, like
okay,
that. Yes.
Yep. I see the difference.
Yep, and then choose your next color. We don't want to run out of time.
We've got 6 minutes.
Okay, and then draw your next oval right next to there.
Okay, hold on. I'm like having trouble getting all my...
It doesn't matter if it's completely filled in.
Okay. This is like forcing me not to be a perfectionist. This is already good for me. Okay, I pick my next color.
Yeah, and one of the benefits of art in school is that everybody does it differently. It's like the only subject that people have where you can be good and not all be the same, or have right answers, but they're not all exactly the same.
I like that.
Yes, and so now use water.
Oh,
to
don't
fill in
redip.
the sides. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
She's like, hurry it
I'm
along.
like reaching over on your finger.
No one's wrong except you, Bree. You're
Yeah.
doing it wrong.
Trying to help you go a little faster.
Except this one pineapple really needs help. All right. I'm moving along.
Yeah, and we started with just the base because we are going to add a little detail in the body of the pineapple.
Okay.
And I was going to do an ombre pineapple with you, but I think that is level 2.
That's level 2.
Yeah, so we're
You're
gonna
going to be fine. Okay, maybe
We're
not.
sticking with the base. The base, but
Uh-oh, I think I mixed my green and my orange here a little bit.
that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. You're moving on to the
I'm
third.
moving to my third
Yes,
pineapple.
okay. Just making sure.
I am. Okay.
So now we're going to have 4 ovals on the page, and then we're going to switch brushes after you're done with your 4th
Oh, okay.
to do a little detail.
I just really like it to, be perfect, so.
It doesn't always have to
Here a
be.
while.
And you also can go back and work on it later.
Oh, okay. That makes you feel better.
Yeah, that's always the good thing about it. But when you're doing art for therapy, or when I'm doing art for my
Ooh, I
own
splashed on my
therapy,
page.
I never worry about what it looks like in the moment. And then I always look at it the next day. And
We'll get a 3-minute countdown here. All right, I'm moving on to my 4th pineapple. I've dripped paint on my.
Well,
Okay, this is the splatter effect.
let's leave you with 3, and then we'll start. We'll start with the top.
Okay, perfect.
The tops, we're just gonna do. If you want to watch one time quickly, we're gonna do.
Have I switched to a new brush?
Nope,
Okay.
we're not switching yet.
Oh.
We're just doing a little bit of quick triangles, upside down
Okay.
triangles.
Any color?
Any color for
Okay.
each one. And you're
Okay.
just doing quick.
Upside down triangles.
Yep, quick
Okay.
triangles.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Almost like little fingers reaching out of the top. Dip your brush in one time. Yep.
Okay.
Look at Gabby's. There you go.
Oh, yes, thank you. I have an inspiration here.
Yep.
Okay, all right. I
You
get it.
see how it's going?
Yep.
And then since we're running short on time, I'm going to do the last part just so we can see. The last part is you choose a color that's different from the body, and then you're going to make your little diagonal pattern,
Okay.
3 or 4 lines, to make it actually look like a pineapple, and dots in the middle. And see how fun that is?
Ooh,
So cute.
Yes, I like that. Let me do my crisscrosses and dots.
There. Yeah, your crisscrosses and dots will
That-
really make it for you.
Okay.
But the pineapple has been one of my recent favorite things to paint, and people's favorite thing to buy. I have a pineapple fleece blanket now that's really cute. It turned out really well. Pineapple hats.
Ooh.
And before we leave, I know that you had a big birthday last week.
I did.
And I brought you one of my fun products as a gift.
Oh my
new
gosh. I
mermaid
love it.
hat.
Okay.
It has a piece of cardboard in it. Watch out.
Oh, okay. I see that. All right, first let me show off. I think
Yes.
I think
Oh, you
this
did.
is
You had
this
the
a
pink
does it
one.
look like a pineapple?
That is so cute. The pink one, yeah.
Like the pink one is.
I love
this looks like something that's on fire, but we're going to work on that. And,
Later, you can always
I'm
come back
gonna
later.
come back to that. But I'm really proud of this pink
I
pineapple.
really love it.
And it's got the dots, the crisscross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not afraid of that. I can handle that.
But
okay.
this is how the process works when I make a hat. Like, I painted that
Okay.
mermaid in watercolor on this kind of paper and then got
Yeah,
it made into a digital
I don't have
image.
the best head for hats.
Oh,
I
you
gotta
gotta make it smaller, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but that's so cute. Perfect for boating, perfect for South Florida.
Ooh, perfect. You see, okay, if you can't see it, I've got a mermaid on and it says
Jupiter.
Jupiter, Florida.
There you go.
Perfect. I love this. I don't know that I've ever had so many things going on here in the studio before. This is making me really, really happy right now. In our last, yes, exactly. I'm getting all of the benefits. And I just can't wait to take this home and finish it. Very quickly, in our last 30 seconds, your name of your studio, your Facebook page, your website.
Okay, Go Coastal Studio. I'm Melissa Rinaldi. You can reach me at gocoastalstudio.com. It has a link to my Facebook, which is Facebook/Go Coastal Studio. And then on Instagram, I'm at mrinaldi.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Best of
you.
luck
It was
with,
really fun.
oh my gosh, and just best of luck in your next month and then your next journey with your third baby. Just how exciting. Thank you for taking the time to be here and share your
Sure.
joy with us. We'll have you back after that when you've
Sure.
recuperated. Okay, beautiful. For the sip and paint. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. We hope you enjoyed today's program and discovered new ways to bring music, art, and dance into your home or workplace. Please find a copy of today's show at pbmti.com. If you have any questions for our guest or myself, please email me at Bree, that's B-R-E-E, at pbmti.com, or call the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute at 561-747-9944. Tune back in next week for an all-new live show. See you then.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.